What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Liam and Bill are shocked to learn that Steffy describes Sheila as a hero. Steffy Forrester's declaration of Sheila Sharp's heroism in The Bold and the Beautiful will shock Liam Spencer and Bill Spencer. Steffy will invite Kelly Spencer over to the Spencer mansion to spend a little more time with her father. Kelly will ask if Liam is okay, so he'll insist he is and gush over the get-well-soon masterpieces she's drawn for him. Although Liam will acknowledge that he's not going to run marathons anytime soon, he'll assure Kelly that he's improving each day. Liam's nurse will confirm that his vitals are right where they should be, so that'll be great news. Liam will assert that each time Steffy and Kelly visit, he gets better because he really enjoys receiving such visits. Bill will smile and suggest that Liam can't get enough of his precious little girls because Liam will add that it's the same with Hope Logan and Beth Spencer. Since Steffy's been telling Kelly that her daddy's a hero, Bill will back her up and declare that Liam is the strongest, bravest man he knows. That's when Steffy will make a confession that's sure to throw Liam and Bill for a loop. Steffy will admit she can't believe she's saying this, but she'll indicate that someone else is a hero too. When a puzzled Liam asks who Steffy's talking about, she'll reveal that she means Sheila. Steffy will acknowledge that Sheila's behavior has improved recently, despite the fact that she will never forget the horrible things she has done. Steffy will never let her guard down completely when it comes to Sheila, but she'll at least think Sheila deserves some credit for going up against Luna Nozawa. Sheila did everything she could to keep Steffy alive, so Steffy can't ignore her efforts. In addition to praising Sheila, Steffy will express how glad she is that Liam pulled through all his medical ordeals. We'll see Steffy and Liam form an even deeper connection now that he's hopefully going to live a long, healthy life. When it comes to Liam's brain tumor and the miracle that Bill paid a lot of money for, Grace Buckingham appears to have pulled a con. Grace's web of lies will surely unravel at some point. Over with Eric Forrester, he'll think Ridge Forrester needs to get serious about what he wants. Brooke may be on the verge of pursuing a new relationship with Nick Marone, so time is running out. Even though Ridge is committed to Taylor Hayes, Eric will give Ridge yet another reason to oppose Brooke Logan. Regarding Italy and Nick's genuine objectives there, Taylor will have some suspicions. Taylor will feel like Nick is hoping to use this trip as a way to convince Brooke to go all in and put Ridge behind her for good. According to The Bold and the Beautiful, Nick and Taylor will be on the same side, so keep an eye out for news about their strategy session. Exes get closer. An emotional moment between Liam and Steffy. The Bold and the Beautiful reveals that Steffy Forrester and Liam Spencer will have a touching scene together, indicating that these ex-boyfriends will become closer despite the danger. Steffy was moved to tears by Liam's heroism at the beach house, where he brought Luna Nozawa down to save Steffy from a terrible fate. When Steffy received updates regarding Liam's experimental procedure and the removal of his brain tumor, she also let out her feelings. Steffy will pay Liam and Kelly Spencer a second visit and simply take pleasure in the fact that Liam will live. When Liam received that fatal prognosis, it seemed as though his family would never see him again. However, Luna saved Liam's life. Steffy's emotional roller coaster has strengthened her bond with Liam following his near-death experiences. When it comes to Liam's previously inoperable brain mass and the medical miracle he received, it is evident that things are not as they appear. Grace Buckingham is clearly a scammer who'll have to face consequences soon or later. Taylor Hayes will mention Nick Marone on his agenda while Liam and Steffy share a special moment. Taylor will have a hunch that Nick intends to use this trip to Italy to win over Brooke Logan, so she might admit that she supports it. In fact, Taylor will attempt to assist Nick in securing the woman he desires and offer some guidance. Nick and Brooke's reunion can only benefit Taylor, who'd prefer to keep her romantic rival away from Ridge Forrester. In contrast, Eric Forrester will make one more request to Ridge for the benefit of his future. Eric is concerned that he will lose Brooke to Nick and have major regrets if Ridge does not act quickly to repair their relationship. The Bold and the Beautiful say Eric will deliver an additional warning about the bad news that could be brewing, but Ridge will continue to show off his stubborn side for now. At the serene but emotionally charged Spencer mansion, where tension still hung in the air like the last echo of a thunderclap, Liam Spencer rested on the couch with soft sunlight filtering through the windows, his body still mending from the trauma he endured, his mind swirling with memories both bitter and beautiful. The door opened quietly, and in walked Steffy Forrester with their daughter, Kelly, in tow, her laughter like chimes in spring as she ran into her father's arms, clutching crayon-colored drawings smeared with hearts and healing wishes. Liam's smile cracked through the pain as he hugged Kelly tightly, blinking back tears not just from joy, but from everything they'd nearly lost. Bill Spencer, standing nearby, looked on with a protective gleam in his eyes, seeing his son alive and aware, surrounded by love, a sight that until recently had been more hope than certainty. "Are you okay, Daddy?" Liam nodded in response to Kelly's innocent question, brushing a strand of her hair behind her ear to reassure her that he was getting stronger by the day. The sentiment was echoed by his nurse, who noted Liam's remarkable progress and stable vital signs. Liam chuckled softly and told Kelly and Steffy that each visit from them made him feel better, like love itself was the medicine his soul needed. He added that Hope and Beth had the same effect, causing Bill to comment with a wry smile that Liam was surrounded by all his girls, and that he was clearly the most adored man in L.A. But then, just as the scene was dipped in warmth, Steffi dropped a verbal bomb that cracked the atmosphere like a sudden storm. She shifted nervously, glanced at Liam, then Bill, and admitted she had something to say that might sound crazy. As Steffi said the words that would stun them both, "Sheila is a hero," Liam's smile faded into curiosity, Bill's brow furrowed, and both men leaned slightly forward. The room fell silent, as though the walls had collapsed. Liam, perplexed, blinked. "Who?" he asked, though the answer was clear. Sheila. Steffi said yes, her voice full of tension. "She kept me safe. She fought for me. When I should have died, she kept me alive." Bill appeared to have been slapped. "Are you praising Sheila Carter as a hero?" His tone was one of shock and rage as he asked. Steffi gave a solemn nod with a trembling but firm voice. "I know who she is. I know what she's done. Never again will I forget. But what she did that night when Luna snapped, when Liam was bleeding, when it was chaos, Sheila stepped in. She shielded me. She protected Kelly. She acted like she cared. Pray for me." Liam stared at her like he didn't recognize the woman he once loved. "You're defending Sheila?" he murmured. "After everything?" Steffi's eyes were damp but unflinching. "I am not supporting her. I'm merely stating that she performed well. I can't ignore it either." Bill stormed into a frustrated monologue about all the times Sheila had wrecked lives, his, Steffi's, Finn's, and that no redemption arc could erase a lifetime of destruction. But Steffi wasn't backing down. "I hate her," she said. "But I'm also alive because of her." Liam, still processing, shook his head slowly, realizing how complex things had become. He had faced death, betrayal, love, loss, and now, this, Sheila Carter, the family's eternal enemy, being praised by Steffi as the one who helped pull her out of the fire. Emotions tangled like barbed wire around his heart, but before he could fully respond, the conversation shifted. As it always did, the miraculous and improbable recovery of Liam came up. Bill, ever the protector, mentioned again how much he paid to get Liam that life-saving experimental surgery, how lucky they were that the tumor had been removed. But Liam was starting to have doubts. Little inconsistencies had begun to bother him. Grace Buckingham's diagnosis, the rushed nature of the treatment, the fact that no second opinion had been sought, it was all too convenient, too cinematic, like something out of a scripted miracle. And as Steffi sat there praising Sheila, another truth was brewing behind the scenes. Grace Buckingham, the brilliant yet enigmatic doctor, had lied. Liam's surgery may have been unnecessary. It's possible that the tumor was misrepresented. Additionally, Bill Spencer might have been conned because he was so desperate to save his son. The bomb hadn't dropped yet, but it was ticking, and when it did, it would turn their world upside down. Meanwhile, over at the Forrester estate, Eric Forrester was playing the wise patriarch once again, urging Ridge to stop dithering between Brooke and Taylor and start making a real choice, especially with Brooke starting to drift toward the charming and persistent Nick Marone. Italy was on everyone's mind, a trip that was meant to be business and pleasure, but one that now threatened to reshape the landscape of their relationships. Taylor, perceptive as always, saw right through Nick's intentions. He wanted Brooke, and he was using this Italian escape as the ultimate romantic reset. Strangely, Taylor didn't seem to mind. Ridge would be finally Brooke's if she left Nick. So instead of warning Brooke, Taylor quietly encouraged Nick, offering subtle guidance and even emotional support, while presenting herself as the understanding friend with no ulterior motives. But Eric was no fool. He was aware that Ridge loved Brooke, and that time was running out before she vanished once more. Steffi and Liam had a quiet moment together at the Spencer mansion after Kelly left to play. They talked not just about the chaos, but about what they'd meant to each other once upon a time, and what they still might mean now. Steffi admitted that she had changed after witnessing Liam collapse on the beach and fight for her life against Luna's violent spiral. It broke her open and reminded her of why she fell in love with him in the first place. Liam reached out for her hand, his emotions still raw. There was something unspoken in their touch. Comfort, familiarity, maybe something more. And in that silence, without words, Steffi leaned her head on Liam's shoulder. The moment was brief, but it meant everything. Their past was a complicated tapestry of pain and happiness interwoven with one another. And now, with Liam's life spared, even if under suspicious circumstances, something new was beginning to blossom. Elsewhere, Ridge was on a rampage. The silk shipment for Forrester Creations had been mysteriously delayed, and Ridge quickly discovered it had been held up by none other than Nick Marone's shipping company. Nick was confronted by Ridge with accusations flying out of his mouth and fire in his eyes. Nick feigned innocence, but Ridge knew better. Brooke was the target of the sabotage, not just the fabric. And Ridge had had enough. But Brooke, hearing the confrontation, stepped in. She reminded Ridge that he was engaged to a different woman and told him to stop calling her My Logan. He needed to stop hiding behind accusations and make a real choice if he wanted to fight for her. Nick, of course, swooped in with a charming smile, suggesting that he and Brooke escape all the drama and make new memories in Italy, romantic ones. Brooke hesitated, torn between the man she always loved and the man who kept letting her down.